Hi everybody, this is going to be a video on multiple income streams. And so what we can go over with this is, particularly for musicians, a lot of times we might think in terms of just having one income stream, especially if we've been thinking about being a musician since we were a little kid. Maybe we have the idea in our minds that we're just going to be a performer and that's going to be like our main source of income. So it's just good to think in terms of multiple income streams because you can actually maximize the amount of income that you're able to make a lot more so than necessarily focusing on one income stream. It can be good to focus on one source of income, particularly if that's a very high income stream generating source. But at the same time, I'm going to give you some ideas about multiple income streams for you to consider here. So the idea is that there are active income sources and passive income sources. So I'll go over a few of the active ones, and those are gigs, of course. So that can oftentimes be the one that you can generate the most income from too, particularly if you're a skilled performer. Of course, you can get out there and you can make a few $100s for a single gig, or many hundreds of dollars for a wedding and those types of things. So that can be a really good trade of time for money because you're making a lot of money per the amount of time that you're putting into it. The next one could be teaching. So teaching, a lot of times if you're, again, highly skilled in a particular instrument or just tend to be a good teacher, then that can be a really good trade of time for money because the money can be pretty good in that depending on what you're doing. Another one is creating merch for your shows. So you're still doing the shows, so I'm kind of counting it under the active income stream source here, but it's a way for you to increase the amount of money that you'd make at a show. So maybe you have your specialty item that you offer, whether it's your CDs or your shirts and the usual things, but also maybe special items that you make that are more particular to your band and the vibe that you bring across as an artist or a band. So those are some of the ideas. Also like doing production for other artists. So like let's say you're really good at recording and you can make your way through the recording software really easily and you have some good mics. Then you could offer those services to other musicians who might not have any knowledge yet about how to record themselves and then put some of your production skills to use to make some additional income. So those are some active income stream sources. Passive income stream sources, you're probably familiar with the concept of passive income, but the basic idea is that you're no longer just trading your time for money. So with a gig, you're going out there, you're basically paid for the number of hours that you're there, and that's the case for the other things that I mentioned for the most part. The concept of the passive income stream is that you put in time and effort to something. Like a good example would be an online course. So let's say you have a particular skill that you want to share with other people and that you think would reach and be a good product to sell. And so you develop that course. So maybe you put 10 hours of work into developing that course. But then let's say hundreds of people end up downloading the course, then basically your 10 hours of work, if you tried to teach all hundreds of those people, you'd be putting in way more than 10 hours of work. And so basically your work up front ends up paying off in the long run in ways that you're no longer actively working for that money. So yeah, an online course is a good example. Let's see. Also, online streaming, of course, is a good example of that. So you record music, you put it up on the online platforms. Now, those don't pay a lot per stream, but they will create passive income because anytime somebody does download those, you're just making money off of it, and you're not having to play that song live, every time that it's streaming. So that's essentially passive income. And then let me see. I think another one that we could focus on as far as passive income would be, another good one is School of Rock. So this is a little bit of a different concept, but it's like a franchise, where somebody had the idea to start this school and then they made it franchisable where somebody could start a School of Rock in their own city and make some income from that, but then some of the profits are still going back to the original owner and founder. So those are some good examples of passive incomes. The last category that we oftentimes overlook too is grants. And so those are good things to apply for because those can just open up other monetary resources or your usual income streams to be able to serve you better if you apply for grants that could help you with a tour or that could help you with a recording project or those kind of things. So there are your three categories of income streams. You've got your active income streams, your passive income streams, and then grants or subsidies.